Hey, greetings. There is a special word that is quickening in me to share, and I hope this blesses people because the travail that produces this word, the sacrifice that produces this revealing, this isn't something that is necessarily meant for oration, it's meant to be lived out. And in order for it to be lived out, it must be referenced. Depend on the victims to be silent. When it comes to abuse in relationships, the strength of the abuser is dependent upon the ignorant, critically important. And oftentimes, abuse, the image of abuse, doesn't take the form that is traditionally or customarily apprehended. Believe you me, believe you me, I am 6'5" and I had done 13 years in prison. And domestic violence was not something I was accustomed to. Not just its physicality, but also the verbiage. I wasn't accustomed to. And in the hostility of it, in the hostility of violence, my faith was leading me, in spite of myself, to reach out as a covering, to reach out as a provision. And I didn't understand it, and as progress as the word would progress, people give out what they have received. And so when someone is giving out violence, it's only because they have received violence as a fundamental part of their upbringing, as a fundamental part of the upbringing. So I have come to understand that if we are to overcome the world in its violence, we must overcome the world in its violence with our willingness to be that priest that removes the wrath by taking on himself the violence and walking in the mystery of God. The mystery is the element of his mercy, the access into a greater strength that provides that provides the opportunity to be that peacemaker, to be that provision, even when you don't feel it. Because love is not about what you feel. Love is about what you know. Love is always about what you know. And you will sacrifice for the truth. I said everybody that's watching me live or that will be watching soon thereafter understands that sacrifice is appetizing when you are sacrificing towards the truth. Towards the truth. It's the truth that makes you free. So if we are to sacrifice for anything, we are to sacrifice on behalf of the truth. On behalf of the truth. This is significant. This is significant. I'm grateful to God because in me being able to deliver this word of encouragement, I am reminded myself. See, there is a reason why I don't have a cell phone. There's a reason why I got a knot upside my eye. Trust me. I understand what it's like to be that one. To be that one. To be that one. Now, I don't look at myself and I don't look at others that knows domestic violence. I don't look at myself as being victims, because being a victim is a consequence of owning an identity that an abuser gave you. See, when you walk in the identity of a victim, you walk in the identity that the abuser gives you. I want you all to know that everyone that has experienced the short end or the raw end of an abuser, of a manipulator, of someone that would like to use their authority as an opportunity to provide the sting of offense, is that the identity that is allotted to you through your abuser is an identity that is not yours to own. See, the identity that is yours to own is the identity that is discovered in his mercy, in the empowerment that is declared from that prophetic utterance in the face of abusers attempt to identify those who that they have placed in bondage through the lie. Because an abuser doesn't have any power. See, their strength is ignorance. So if they can get you to bite to the identity that they've been communicating, If they can get you to buy into the identity that they have been communicating over and over and over again, then they can get you to bite to that oppression. They can get you to bite to that ignorant place, that low place, that subjugated place that seeks to make ignorance the pillar and make you that thing which is supported by that pillar. Now, we know today by faith that nothing of the lie is connected to the truth. We know today by faith that nothing connected to the lie is of the truth. Not a single thing. Not a single thing. And there are many abusers, because abuse in relationships doesn't necessarily have to be in a marriage. It can be in a friendship. It can be in a work environment. I have experienced a variety of abuse of authority, of abuse of power that uses discretion as an opportunity to provide that spear. See, what I like to do is I like to tell the things in the brawl. I bring that stuff to the light. What the enemy likes to do is use discretion. He likes to use that secret space as a means to pierce and to cut. But I tell you today, when you know the things that are of God that brings offense, it's the things that are brought to light. It's the things that are brought to light, not the things that are whispered in secret. See, the things that are whispered in secret are whispered into ears, but the things that are brought to the light are brought to the light to provide a revealing. In the ears, a light that all eyes are able to behold and behold and see the glorious manifestation of the Father's love. And so I believe that when you are called unto violence, so the enemy wants to use that as an opportunity to bring confusion and dismemberment. But God wants it to be used as an opportunity to verify, fortify, and establish his testimony in the earth. Because if his love cannot overcome offense, then it's not his love. Because his love is able to take captivity captive. His love is able to swallow up death. His love is so amazing. And sometimes we need to be reminded of that love. I do, definitely. I mean, I experienced a lot of different measures of grace in my life with the hostility that comes in the world. And sometimes my flesh can get excited and overwhelmed in the realities of the fight and forget the depth of resource of the Father's love, only because the fight is what we can see. The Father's love is that which we cannot see. Whose report will we believe today? As spiritual men, I want to speak to the men first and foremost, because men are an image of headship. And if your headship is not established in the authority that is above all authority, then your headship will be soon cut off, because your headship is not the ruling authority in the land. See, if you want yours to stand as the head, yours must stand in that which is able to endure. So if our authority isn't in the rock that is the highest authority, then our authority is no true authority at all. It can always be absurd. But if we could walk in the empowerment that is the light of God, in that authority, in spite of all darkness, I said in spite of all darkness, then domestic violence would begin to be an opportunity, to minister unto violence, the testimony of God's love. Now that's wrong. Now, I don't know what pulpit would you have heard that message from, because in 2018, you got so many divorces running through many pastors, bishops, and so-called apostles. I mean, it's crazy. They'll say, God wants peace, but it's not part of the beginning. Jesus said that. Jesus said it's not. It was never from the beginning. Separation. No. From the beginning, light went into darkness. That is part of the beginning. See, if it's not connected to the beginning, it's not going to be connected to the harvest. So if we are to give wise counsel in our current age, counsel that's not tied to the philosophies of Dr. Phil, that's not tied to the philosophies of modern psychiatry, but that is tied to the revelation of the eternal God, and everything that is in him is able to endure, because he is eternity. And if we put everything in him, what is him? The revelation, not the adoration, but the revelation. What is this revealing? But the fact that his mercy is able to endure, the fact that his empowerment, when it is in his hands, is able to be sustained and maintained, and in everything that is rocking and rolling and shaking and breaking away, whatever we put into his hands, he is able to maintain, sustain, and cause to stand and endure. Now, I want us to consider that word in the hostile places of our normal everyday lives. When we break away from this video feed, we may walk into hostility. Will we take captivity? Will we take hate into captivity with the sacrifice that is love? Will we take upon ourselves the violence of offense and walk in the reality and the witness of his love and the breaking of ourselves? Can we take the abuse of vain words? Can we suffer the abuse of vain words and still walk in the reality and the strength of the power of the Father's love? Not because what we have received from man, but because what we have received from above. See, everything that we receive from man is from below. So if we are indeed in that high place, if we are indeed in that fruitful place, then in that place, the only thing that can feed us is God. If we are indeed in that fruitful place, man can't feed us because man is always in a low place. And when you're in a high place, you can't be fed from a low place. But if you're in a high place today, then your food is going to come from on high. And indeed, if you're eating from the kingdom, if you're eating from the banquet hall of his provision, then everything that you are feeding is going to be able to sustain you into the endurance of the revelation, into the appearing of Jesus, the manifestation of the glorious appearing of God's reconciliation. His mercy, his empowerment endures until such. The end, ladies and gentlemen, is always better than the beginning. My name is Steve Davis. I am excited for this opportunity to share with you in brief segment this amazing word. I know I had a schedule to come on live. We're in the middle of the Great Northwest. We are still traveling. We're going to go pick up some gas and keep hitting the road. I just want you all to be encouraged to know that in spite of everything that you face, in spite of everything that you experience, there is always somebody who knows what it's like, who can relate to that, who knows how it feels to hurt and to be misunderstood and to be abused behind closed doors and to be mistreated and to be misunderstood and to be ostracized and to be all alone, to have the weight of hate on your neck, but to know in spite of all of that, that the Father loves you. And in that knowledge, there is a light that continues to provide a provision that is unseen, but yet it sustains everything that is seen. Now that's an amazing testimony, an amazing witness to the glorious revealing of Jesus Christ. You all be blessed, be greatly encouraged. The day still remains.